Hi, I'm Fox. Thank you so much for joining me for today's quick morning yoga flow. We'll begin in a seated position. You can bring a block or a firm pillow underneath the sit bones to help make it easier to have the spine stay straight. So we'll begin just doing some shoulder rolls, rolling those shoulders up and back, embracing any cracks we hear. Opposite direction. Now we can take our left arm out, place it down on the mat, and then bring our head to the opposite shoulder. We can bring our hand to help kind of guide it, not pushing too hard, just a gentle touch. Maybe elongating that left arm out. Just feeling the stretch in the neck, in the shoulder. Again, breathing deeply. We can come back up to center, bringing our right arm out, and then dropping our head to the opposite side. Again, if you have your hand on your head, not pushing, just gentle guiding. Noticing the stretch. You can come back up to center, bringing those palms face up, closing the eyes, just beginning to breathe deeply. Releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe on the exhale, really using sound to help you release. So inhale and exhale, big sigh or yawn. Releasing the muscles in the jaw, the tongue, and the forehead. And breathing into the belly. Noticing that rise and fall of the belly. To bring in an intention for the day. It can be a word, it can be a way you want to feel for the day. Just embodying some type of intention. You can give a few examples. Maybe you want to feel happy today. Maybe you want to feel more calm today, more productive. Maybe your intention for the day is an affirmation that you really like. Personally, for me right now, I really love the affirmation. Trust, let go, and surrender. Just bringing in whatever you feel called to. I'm bringing that air into the belly. And we can open up our eyes. We are going to come into a tabletop position so we can remove that blocker pillow. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we can just do a few rounds of cat-cow. So on the inhale, dropping that belly. On the exhale, really rounding the back, dropping the tailbone down to the ground. Doing a few rounds of this at the rhythm of your breath. Noticing the sensations in the body. On the inhale, releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing deeply. Now, from tabletop, we are going to tuck those toes and come up into downward dog, pressing those hips up to the sky, firmly pressing into the thumb and forefinger, trying to drop those heels as close to the ground as you can. Now, we are going to move into plank, activating that core, really pulling in the navel, and then we're going to inhale, or exhale, drop the knees, hugging those shoulders, and slowly release yourself onto the mat. Breathing deeply. Now we are going to come up into Cobra, bringing our forearms parallel to each other, our elbows directly under our shoulders, focusing on tucking that tailbone down and pulling the chest up. Again, breathing deeply. And we're going to tuck those toes, plant those hands onto the mat, and come up to a downward facing dog. Again, breathing deeply. We will step forward, coming up to the top of our mat, but remaining folded. Folding over the legs, you can come to rest on the thighs, or you can really just try to hang down, noticing the stretch in the back of the legs. And we'll come up for a halfway lift. Bring our hands as high as needed. We just need a straight spine. And then exhale, fold again. We're going to inhale, sweep our arms up to the sky, palms face together. Bringing our palms down to our heart space, palms together. Then we can take some deep breaths. Bring our hands to our sides. Just noticing the sensation of our feet against the ground. And we're going to take that left leg back, and we're now going to bring it parallel to the short edge of the mat, but we're going to bring it about to a 45-degree angle, and we are going to bend into that front leg, hips squared to the front of the mat for warrior one. Breathing deeply, having the knee directly over the ankle, shoulders away from the ears. Then you're going to inhale, straighten that leg, drop the arms. And we are going to come into a pyramid, so there's a few variations here. We can have our hands behind our back, or we can bring them down as we fold forward. So taking whatever variation feels best. We'll come up, straight spine, and then exhale, hinging from the hips, fold over that front leg. It's okay if there's a little bit of a micro bend in the knee. Coming down as low as possible, or as low as it's comfortable. Remembering that this practice isn't about pushing yourself to hurt yourself. It's just feeling the sensations. But if it hurts, come out. So inhale, engaging that core, pulling in the navel. Come back up to a standing position. Bring that back leg parallel to the short edge of the mat for warrior two. Arms out parallel. Chest open, gazing out. Or you can gaze to the front hand in front of you, looking at that middle finger. We're going to inhale. We're going to bring that front arm into a bend, having it on our side, and bring the opposite arm up and forward for a side body stretch. Extended side angle. Now inhale, back up to warrior two, coming into high lunge, and then step forward, mountain. Now we're going to do that on the opposite side, so we'll bring that that right foot back, Kika, again into about a 45-degree angle or 40-degree angle, bending into that front leg, hips parallel to the front edge of the mat, for warrior one. Arms up to the sky. Then from warrior one, we can straighten that front leg, bring our arms down to our sides, hinging forward from the hips for pyramid pose. Again, pressing firmly into those feet, engaging the legs, engaging the core. So pull in that navel. Come back up to standing. Bring that foot parallel to the short edge of the mat for warrior two. Again, breathing deeply, having the knee not go past the ankle. And then you're going to come into extended side angle. Breathing deeply, noticing the sensations in the body, keeping the shoulders stacked, chest open. And engage that core, come back up to warrior two, come in to high lunge. And then we can come back into mountain. Breathing deeply. Placing our feet firmly against the mat. Breathing deeply in mountain. We're going to inhale those arms up to the sky, palms together. And exhale, dive forward for a forward fold. Again, having those hips up to the sky. If the hips up to the sky is too intense, you can have the body being supported by the thighs, or you can really try to straighten those legs. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to plant those hands, step down to downward facing dog. Maybe bouncing. You can walk out the downward dog. Pressing firmly into the four corners of the palm, into the fingers. We're going to inhale for plank, engaging that core. And then exhale. Drop those knees, untuck the toes, and slowly begin to bend the arms, hugging them in. Trying to keep the back straight as you come down to the mat. Now we can use our arms as a pillow and just come to rest. Belly down on the mat. Again, breathing deeply. Now we are going to bring that left leg in, hugging it in into our butt. And then we can bring the same arm to bring it in closer. Just noticing the stretch in the front of the thigh. And breathing deeply. Fully releasing into the mat. You can release that leg. Bring in the right leg, doing the same thing. Again, noticing the sensations. Noticing if this side feels tighter or looser. Not judging, just noticing. becoming the observer of the body, of the sensations, of your emotions, of your thoughts. Just coming back to being loving awareness. You can release that leg down now. Now we can either come up for cobra or we can come into a little bit of a modified upward facing dog. So not completely releasing the legs off the ground, but just the body, tucking those hips into the mat, releasing shoulders away from the ears, and just noticing the stretch in the front body, in the back body. We can lower a bit back down, untuck those toes, and come back to downward facing dog. The last downward dog of the practice. Again, breathing deeply. Then we can drop those knees down to the mat. Bring the big toes to touch. And come to fold forward for child's pose. Breathing deeply. Can maybe breathe in for a count of 4. And then exhale for a count of 4. Inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 5. Inhale for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 6. Breathing. Again, we can bring back in that intention we had earlier. Maybe what we wanted to feel for the day. What was the emotion or trait we wanted to embody for the day? Just coming back to that as you breathe deeply. And push ourselves back into a seated position. Crossing those legs, bringing our palms face up on the knees. And just breathing deeply. Maybe placing one hand on the heart and one on the belly. And just taking a minute, to ground yourself back into the body. You can open the eyes, maybe look around. Really grounding yourself back into the room, into the present moment. Now we can bring our hands back out, palms face up, reaching them up to the sky, palms together. And bring our palms heart center. And bring them up to our third eye, and then bow our head down. Taking time to be grateful for ourselves for doing this practice, for our body, for our breath, for all the teachers and elders of yoga and yoga philosophy. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!